question. This is a lot easier. I feel more at home doing this.
We'll take questions. We have the boom mics around the room. We'll take the first question in the back right on 3.
Good evening, Coach. Congratulations to you, by the way. You're very welcome. Absolutely. I know it's real humbling when former owner Toronto comes in and says, we have to relieve you of your position. I think there were greater things to come for you. I've mentioned you probably about a half dozen times on my show. When you look forward in your new position with a different team, different franchise, what keys do you believe will take to get you and your team to the next level?
Well, one is health, because Stan Van Gundy did a heck of a job of building a solid foundation there. They've got a solid team, but their biggest nemesis has been their health. Blake Griffin has been in and out with injuries. Reggie Jackson missed I don't know how many games with injuries. So just keeping everybody healthy, whether it's through training, backing off at certain times. I don't know what it is, but we got to figure it out to make sure we keep everybody healthy, because they have a lot of good pieces there with Blake and Andre and Reggie, Stanley Johnson. Again, you talk about coming out of the East, you got to go through, I don't care what anybody says, at the end of the day, you got to go through 23. And you got to have some matchups that can stay in front of him and give him some resistance. And we've got a couple of guys that can do that in Stanley and also Blake Griffin. So that's the exciting part about it. The most important thing is, I still say, is health. And again, get our offense going a little bit, because they were solid defensively. I think they were 10th, 9th or 10th. But just to get a little bit more flow in the offensive game.
Third row in the center.
Right here, Dwane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cameron Buford, LA News Observer.
Mm-hmm.
What excites you? You just kind of touched on some of the things that you need to do differently or with this Pistons team, but what excites you about this opportunity?
Well,
I think this would be different also than the time in Toronto.
Well, again, I look back at the days starting in Toronto. We started out 30th in the league. I don't think we could go any further defensively. And that was one of the charges that Brian Colangelo gave me, is to make sure we brought the defense back. And we did that with far less talent at that time, because DeMar DeRozan was a young kid at that time. And now we're starting with Blake Griffin, Andre. They've been in the league a little bit farther. So starting out with a little bit more of a veteran base in Detroit. So that's the exciting part about it. I'm excited to get with them. I met with all the guys last week. They're already working. We got coaches on the ground, here. Most of them are here in L.A. working. And that's the fun part, the exciting part. Again, once you get fired, that's not a good feeling. When someone, after you have a franchise record and then you still get let go, that's the uneasy part. Say, okay, something must be wrong with me. But the opportunity in Detroit has given me more of a enthusiasm, and I'm excited to get going again. And again, a lot of it goes with Tom Gore as the owner. He's excited to try to get another championship in Detroit.
Second row on the right.
Coach, Lisa Su from Tencent. Mm-hmm. Was there any regrets that you feel like you left in Toronto?
Well, yeah, you always, a lot of coaches have regrets not beating Cleveland. That's one of my regrets. We got better every year. Like I said, we went from 30th to 5th defensively, number 2 offensively. Everybody, talks about that. But again, it's the overall growth of the program with the same core guys. We didn't sign a lot of, free agents. We got Serge Ibaka and I think DeMar Carroll, But a lot of the same core guys have been there, and they grew. That's the regret you have, that you didn't, we made it to Eastern Conference Finals, but we couldn't get over the hump to get to the finals to try to win a championship. So that's always a regret. But again, I can still hold my head high from what we had and what we grew from, and nobody can ever take that away.
Our final question for Coach over here.
Is there a message that you'd like to send to Toronto fans?
No, again, there's no message. It's again, we'll see each other again. Like I told the fans, it's a great city. The ownership is solid with Larry Tannenbaum and George Cope. But again, it's their prerogative not to have me there. I have no regrets. I'm excited about the new journey in Detroit with the group we have there. So can't look in the rearview mirror. You know, Winston Churchill said, what would he say? Success is measured by failure, and then come back with enthusiasm. And that's what I've done. You know, so supposedly they equate that with failure. So that's their choice, their decision. And I wish them nothing but the best, especially the players, because I love each one of them and spent a lot of hours with them. DeMar DeRozan, watched him grow up. 4-time All-Star from where he was. Kyle Lowry, same thing, Olympians. So, a lot of growth in that program. So it's up to the next coach there to take them the next step.